Assalamu alaikum guys, thank you very much for joining me today on the second episode of AhmedsAngle. I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode, however today will be completely different. I would like to start off with a quick anecdote to sort of introduce my second topic today. So a few years ago I went to a wedding with a few friends of mine, a nikah, and we got there somewhat early, and as most of you guys know, nikahs are usually roughly around early afternoon. So it was fun. Alhamdulillah, I was enjoying myself, catching up with some of these friends of mine who I hadn't seen for quite a long time. Then I noticed, it's time to pray Dhuhr. So I said to my friends, listen guys, we need to pray Dhuhr. I'm going to find out and see if there's some room in the back that we can pray. However, if there isn't, we're going to have to pray somewhere in a corner or something. And to my surprise, they looked at me a bit funny. And I said, what's wrong? And I said, come on, bro, we can't pray in the back where everyone can see us. And I said, why not? And I said, people, they're going to look at us thinking we're showing off, or it's just going to look weird, and I'll just pray at home later. And I said, it's going to be late. They said, no problem. And I was like, what? And I was somewhat confused. It was quite straightforward to me. So I got a third, another friend of mine involved who I thought would mediate the situation, who I thought would be able to tell right from wrong. So I got him involved, and he's, to my surprise, he sided with my other friends, and he said, literally to me, are you one of those guys that prays outside as well? I said, what? And I looked at him with a bit of surprise, and I said, and I thought, actually, is that some sort of criticism? And I said to them, don't you guys pray in public? And they were like, no, come on, man, you can't do that. It's weird, people are gonna look at you funny. And I said, why are you guys so obsessed with what other people think? It's about your intentions, As long as your intentions are pure and you're praying for the right reasons, you shouldn't worry too much about what other people think. And it felt to me as if, I wasn't getting the response I was expecting and quite frankly hoping for, because these are my friends. You want the best for your friends. So, I just went and looked for a room. Alhamdulillah, I found a room, and I prayed there with some other guys. And I wondered to myself, the rest of that day, what were these guys talking about? Are they right in some sense? Are they completely wrong? And do these people exist? People that look at a good action and turn that into a negative. And as I've grown older over the years, I've come to realize that people can be nasty. People are actually quite judgmental towards one another, and people can be rude. So I wondered, was there some truth to what they were saying back then? And I'm not sure if it happens when it comes to people praying in public. However, one field where it is quite prevalent, where people turn something good into something negative, is when it comes to giving charity in public. So when it comes to giving charity, there are loads of different ways to do it. Most would argue, and I agree to a certain extent, that giving it in private is the most sincere way of doing it, because in that way no one is aware of what you've just done and your intentions are somewhat pure. However, we can't deny that giving charity in public has its benefits as well. And the benefit that comes to mind quite straightforwardly is the fact that you can act as a reminder towards others. People are obviously busy with their day-to-day lives, and to see a video that portrays goodness, kindness, charitable deeds might act as a reminder, and they might go out of their way to give something in charity as well. Another benefit is that you would portray the religion of Islam or Muslims in general as something associated with charity, something associated with good, which is something obviously that we can use, especially nowadays. Now that I've outlined that there are some benefits to doing it in public, why is it that we look down on people that spread this goodness, spread their charitable act? Why do we assume that they do it out of arrogance? Why do we assume that they're doing it to boost their profile? Don't get me wrong, I even sometimes myself get an instinct gut reaction of, I'm not sure, I might have done it in private. However, I quickly try to shake off that feeling, because I've just established that there are some benefits and I don't know their intentions. Why would I assume the worst out of them when I hope and expect people to assume the best out of me? So that's what I try to do. When I see a video like that, I look at it thinking, you know what? He's done it in public. He's done something good. I don't know what his intentions are, so I assume the best. But when I look at these videos and the comments down below, it's ridiculous. Honestly, have a look. You'll see people criticizing. You'll see people pretending they would have done differently. And while we are debating, or while they are debating whether it should have been done in public or in private, this person has actually done something good, while they're, picking and fighting over something that's somewhat trivial from my perspective. So my friends that I referenced in the introduction, they were somewhat older than me at the time, and I wondered if this is what they were referring to. these kind of people that will turn a praiseworthy deed into something negative. And they do exist. It's evident, it's quite clear to me that they do exist. They haven't, however, stopped me from praying. I pray regardless of where I am. I've prayed at football, work, it doesn't matter to me. And I wasn't always like that, as most of you guys know. People go through stages in life. Some of us are at the stage where they don't pray at all. Some of us might pray occasionally, and there are others that pray regardless. However, I believe it's important to highlight a different group of people, a group of people that pray, or they try their best to pray all the time. However, due to circumstances, due to work commitments, due to the fact that they are usually outside in uncomfortable positions, situations where they're somewhat hesitant to pray, where they're somewhat, scared of being looked down upon or ridiculed. I can only sympathize with those people. I was that person myself. And what I will say is you can do it. Most of the time it's just a matter of asking, making people aware. People don't know that you're struggling with these ideas of, I need to pray, or should I pray later when I get home? They can't read your mind. And I've noticed once you address the issue, or I don't even want to call it an issue, once you make people aware of your religious obligations, they will try their best, generally speaking, to accommodate your request. And what you'll find is you'll be more confident, more comfortable in your own skin. And what employer doesn't like an employee who's got a clear mind and can dedicate all their efforts to their job? I recognize it's not easy. Some of you guys might be hesitant to take this approach. However, I just wanted to share my thoughts with you guys, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. What is it that's holding you back? How is it that you're struggling? Or what have you done to be able to stay on top of your prayers? And when it comes to giving charity, what are your thoughts? Should it be done in private, in public? Do you mind at all? And do you criticize those who do it in public? And I'm sure most of you guys, if not some, give charity on GoFundMe. And think about it. Do you include your name, or do you do it anonymously? And with this, I would like to conclude a topic that is completely different from last week's, which was football. And the one next week will be completely different as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below with your perspective. I look forward to your engagement. Alternatively, if you would like to record a video, you can also do that. Outline your perspective, your struggles, or the way you have overcome your struggles. I look forward to that as well. In any event, use AhmedsAngle 2 for this episode. Hashtag AhmedsAngle 2. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and like I said, comment as well. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.